Which one am I looking at? That one. Good morning, tubers. Welcome back. Second live feed in... Actually, it's only the first live feed on this one, and it was another live feed on the other channel. But I didn't end up going to the track, if anybody cares, because apparently it was closed and I didn't realise. So we are basically just doing a live build. Well, that's the plan anyway. I think I'm going to do a live build. Not a great deal of effort have been put into it. I've just finished overclocking the card and trying to work it all out, so I'll show you before and after of that, and maybe I'll let you in on how I actually did it. Currently I have got 29.83. Now I just had an idea. If I go that, and if I go that, and if I go Team Viewer, I wonder if this will work. Team T-A-M Viewer. And if I type in, I've got to make sure I don't actually say this aloud, 40, connect to partner. I've never actually tried this, I only just installed it. Can you see where my hands are typing? Geez, you might be able to remotely log in. Log on. No, I've did it wrong. One. Hey, look at that. Haha, that works. How awesome is that? It's shitty quality. If I go main screen and go transition, there we go. That is currently hashing, and this will all change as soon as I go offline, so it's not going to matter. I don't know if you can read that. It's currently hashing at 29.84 mega hashes. So that is up here, 29.84. Now I do have a little document that I put here. Originally it was on the standard, it was 20.99 was the standard hash rate before I started tinkering with it. So it is getting up there a little bit now. I've just got to make sure it's stable. Don't leave your live feed on when you're done. Yes, Chris, I understand that. Whoops. I actually thought I clicked it. No, I walked away and started cleaning and then went, well. How about some crypto donations for viewers? That's not the way this works. It's the other way around. And I'm going to have to get into this because I really don't want to be sitting out here. It's really hot in the shed. So what have I got apart from a litre of water? Now this is a customer build. This is not my build. He could build it himself, but I told him I'll build it so I can do it on camera. And all that he wanted to pay me to do was tune the hell out of the cards and get more out of them, because he's got dozens of these cards. Not these cards, but he's got dozens of cards apparently, all exactly the same. I just don't know what memory are in each of them. These ones are Elpedia. But 1000 watt power supply. We have a 6-bay, and all the links are underneath, and they'll all be affiliate linked, and you know that. So a minor case. These things suck to put together, but they're there. Strix motherboard, B250H. Some people don't like them, some people love them. You'll never get away from that. And we have got 6 Asus Expedition 570 cards, 4 gig. Like I said, this is his build, not mine. And I think these were just 6 cards that he could get, that he had the same of the other ones or something. I don't know. I don't really care what the story is, as long as I get paid, right? Rightio. So I have 1 card in that computer, and I'm going to leave it in that computer for a little while until I actually build the rig and stuff like that, just so I know it's stable, because I've only had it done for about an hour or so, so I'm going to be able to see it's stable. Rightio. Let's start by building this, I guess. See if we can make a mess out of this. One would think that I would have been a little bit better planned and had a knife or something similar that I could have opened it with, and I do. Oh, there we go. Now I haven't actually built any of these yet, so I'm probably this is going to be a job where I have to build several times, I think, before I actually get it right. But they are stackable, which is good. Okay. They are for hard drives and such. Now, we're not using them either. For the actual operating system, I'm using EthOS. We don't need them. We probably need that box. Yes, we need that box with all the tools. Rightio. Did they give me all the tools this time? They did. 3 tools. Rightio. That can get filed over there. And this, I was going to do a awesome edit of a video and actually do this, but I thought I really do like the live feeds, and at least I can chat at the same time, so I can interact with you guys. Even though I don't think there'll be that many guys in this room because it's a new channel. Howdy from Texas. TeamViewer is awesome. I set it up for a friend when she was in hospital so she could access her business. It is very easy to use, yes. It's negative 24 degrees where I am. That is a little bit cool. No, it's a new trend. Support your viewers. I can't afford to support 28,000 of you. Actually, no, this is a new channel, so there's only 200. Oh, well, this is well packed. Look at that. Every single one of them, can you see that, is individually wrapped. That's neat. Of course, I have no idea what goes where. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm guessing all the short ones go somewhere. And all the long ones go somewhere else. Oh, look. Instructions, and they're in English. Ah, look. If we follow these, we're golden. Which is a better camera angle? My Logitech camera or the SJ Cam, which is like a meter away, but I'm still using the same microphone here, so it should be fine. I don't know which one's better. You can see all my crap this way, can't you? Okay, that goes along the top. This could get extremely boring, let's face it. Probably going to need more space. I should move a couple of graphics cards out of the way. I don't even know if you need all of these to build this. Surprisingly well wrapped. I guess it's reflected in the in that usual price tag, I guess. Rightio. I need the bigger one, the bigger chat, so I can actually see it. Negative 15 would be nice and warm compared to negative 25. 0 to see average in the UK. Rights for Fitness, good morning. I'd like to stay and watch Pete, but it's 1:33 AM, Chris. See you later, buddy. Did you give up on those ant miners? No, I just haven't done anything with them. Given up is a strong word. If I give up, Mike Nako will be a little bit pissed off. Okay, so Logitech is the better camera, is it? Okay. That's got one hole in it, so that must be one of them. That's got lots of holes in it. That one's got lots of holes in it. It's only got one hole in it. Just trying to sort all these out by how they're all laid out. I don't think it's going to be overly difficult. The long ones are obviously going to be the back. I dare say this is going to get like, this is going to be riveting fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All different ones. And then we are going to read the instructions. Now, I was going to do this off camera, but what fun would that be? Okay, that's got no holes in it at all. Okay, well, that's just odd. Oh yeah, that's got... Okay, so I'm going to put it out there and say with 2 holes. I wonder if they've got any holes in the sides of them. No holes in the side. Okay. And I would not expect anybody to stay and watch the whole thing of this. I really wouldn't. I think that will get insanely boring. Transition. Rightio. So, it doesn't really say how to build it. Well, it does, but... Okay, so let's build that part first. The H bit in the middle. So they're long bits with screws. So I'm assuming that they go there. I'm assuming that that bit goes there. Since nothing goes into it, there's no screw holes into that. Screw holes into that, so that one goes there, that one goes there. Okay, so I've only got one hole in it, in a weird spot. So all of these, they've got threads in the end. So if they sit across like that, that's got a thread in the end. One will go there. One will go here. You watch how many times I'm going to have to pull this apart and put it back together again. So 2 holes at that end, 3 holes at this end. So that's like that. 2 holes at that end, 1 at that end. So I think we're just going to have to start winging this. I'm waiting for the GPU pawn. It flagged your message, Mike. I like the other camera better. You can see more stuff. Transition. I'm gonna have to do this first. I'm gonna have to do this part first. So I'm just gonna build this. If you don't want to watch this live feed but you want to support Pete, feel free just to go and make a coffee or something and just leave this live feed running in the background, because that will help. I got to get 10,000 viewers on this channel before I can start doing stuff. So it'll be really fantastic if I could crack them out in a few weeks. 10,000 viewers, and you got to get 100 subscribers to do something else. I didn't realise the first time I started the YouTube channel, you just pressed all the buttons and waited, and it worked. But now you've got to pass all these milestones before you can do things. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these have all got oil all over them. So now my sexy new rig has got oil all over it. This will be the only live feed I ever do, I think, building a rig. I think I'll just like building this part of the rig anyway, because I think it's ridiculous. Why would anybody watch this? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that there, I'm not going to nip these up too much. Okay, so it kind of resembles that picture there. It kind of resembles that picture there, I think. So that's good enough for me. Test failed. I was wondering why it didn't show up on the video. But you should have been able to see it on the live feed on the site, on the side here, shouldn't you? Would have been there. Liar, liar, all lies. What am I lying for? I need some moderators in here. Mike, is that you, Mike? Mike, it's all lied. It's agreed. It's interesting. It's not interesting. Okay, so where does that one go? That one must go on one of the uprights. So I think there is extra bits and pieces, but we're not putting fans on this one, so we'll just screw that sucker in. Of course, oh yeah, there is a screw hole there, that's all right. Wow. Alright, come on, in you go. Get in there. Now they did say that some of these, sometimes you had to actually tap out, so I might have to buy a tap and die. Or maybe, just for fun, they use different size screws. Maybe the thread stuffed. Okay, well that's annoying. I don't think. Oh, come on, open up. And they're too small, they're too big. Oh, this is going to make for great TV. Maybe there's no thread on those. So how did... Ah, I know how it is. Ignore me, everyone else does. They're not threaded holes. Ah. Plot thickens. Rightio. So uprights, that is a threaded hole. So these ones have to go here. Now we're getting it. They are these stupid little aligny things you've got to put in there. Stupid little aligny things is a word that I will use. Rightio. Front to back. Oh man. I'm just going to have to do this and accept the fact if I screw it up I'm going to have to redo it. I don't know which way these go. So why? Nope. That's not the right one. On the same length. Now, all sorts of weird shit happening at the kebab shop today. I'm just going to have to go the same length on both. Actually, I think it will be the same length on both legs because it they're stackable. Right, ignore me. We've got it now. Rightio. They look like they've got one screw hole on that one. So it goes up the top. So two, one goes that way. This is amateur hour. Pete's got to read the instructions in order to know what to do. Rightio. GPU, it's all fun flip. The flip-flops are a requirement. The hole in the shorts are also a requirement. I want some GPUs. Can I has? Has isn't a correct word. I'll go and put your shirt on. No, I have not done this bit before. Someone else has always done this bit for me. But I told them that I would start doing this if they were going to give me some work that was paid. That is the kicker. I want it to be paid work. Rightio. That looks reasonably right. We've got the 2 screw holes at the back. And of course, why do they turn the rig around? That's a little bit frustrating. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Keep moving forward. Right. Now these stupid little things that I have no idea why they exist in this world. Well, I know why they exist, but it pissed me off. You know, I had to do some of these the other day. And which one was it? That one. Rightio. So how did this work? This is where it gets exciting, kids. I genuinely don't know how these go on. Please do not remove the protect coat of frame sticks before you read this manual. Yeah. So okay, so apparently the things that I ripped off are the things that would have helped me build this rig had I have read the instructions. That I guess is rather ironic. But let's roll with it because now I don't have a choice. Okay, so this rail, how does this work? That goes in that way. I'll go across there. Now I did watch how they did this and I can't remember. Not watch how they did it, but so this one goes at this end, and hopefully this one screws into there. Okay, so that makes sense. I'm going to put that on the seat. Are you building a rig for yourself? It's for a client. This is not my rig. I just chose to do this on camera just so I had something to put up on this channel. I know it's riveting stuff. And I know you're going to get excited, but you're going to have to control yourself. Rightio. Of course, I didn't do that straight. And that one's got a thread, and that one doesn't. So, I'm going to throw something at that. I can. So, can I put this here? And is that going to be enough leg? It does look like it's going to be enough leg. Just got to work out how to get the other end in. I assume I've done it right. Okay, so that one's got bolts in it. Rightio. This one. Progress is being made. He's going to look at this video. He's probably watching this video now. You keep missing comments, Peter. Do I? No, I'm trying to keep up. Luckily, there's not very many comments. If has is not the correct word, the word maths is not either. Be nice. Okay. Okay, so how does that attach to that? I know there's these things. What are they? Ah, look at that. See, you start looking at things and you find things that look like this. Look at that. That's going to work. Now, it does appear that you have to put these things in before you put the end on. Which means I might have to do some stuff twice. It does seem perfectly reasonable. Okay, do they fit in there? They do fit in there. I'll slide that in there and all the way along. Oh, I don't have to slide it all the way along. I can just put it in and turn it around. That'll work. Of course, I don't know how long I need it. I wonder. I'll just be a little bit sneaky and do it this way. Is my audio enough? Keep missing comments, so FYI, this weekend is going to be -5 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a little bit cold. Previous comment, yes, he is watching, yes, woot, boom. You should have been here earlier. Pete left the live feed running for like 20 minutes after he quit screaming. Oh, that was, yeah, it wasn't 20 minutes, was it? It wasn't that long. It was like 5 minutes. Rightio. Look at that. Of course you can't see that because I haven't got a camera angle for you to see it. So what I had to just do was that cornery bit. That way, that way, that way, that corner. So put that in. Now I have to try and work out how to do the other one. I'm guessing this is definitely something you should do before you did this bit. Rightio. One of them. One of these little things. Slide him in. It'll work. At least the Allen keys are of reasonable quality. Oh, now I put the Allen key thing in there and it won't lift it back out. No. Oh, that's not going to work too well, is it? Put it upside down. There you go. They all fell out. At least it's out. Take two. TeamViewer is great. I just helped a couple fix a friend's computer much better than Windows. Yeah, remote desktop. I like remote desktop because you can actually log in with it. As long as the computer's on. TeamViewer actually has to be started. I'm yet to pay for a license for remote desktop for TeamViewer. I probably should with you, man. I use it. Okay. Rightio, that worked. Line him up. Nip him up. Rightio. This is happening and you're catching it all live. It's exciting stuff. Another one of these. Slide him in. I guess as I do this more I'll get better. Rightio. Got to put it the right way around so it latches in. Put him there. Slide him up and in. Bingo. No. There we go. Almost no bingo. There we go. It's getting faster now. I hear you great. Yeah. Audio sounds fine, not like when you wandered off camera in the last video on the other channel. On the other channel, that'll be known as the other channel because that's where all the cool kids don't hide it. I'm still unsure whether it was a good idea starting another channel. I guess it might be if it takes off, or just people don't seem to like. People come to my channel for the 18650s and nothing else, so it makes it a little bit difficult for some, I guess, to accept that I have other things to do in my life that I actually really enjoy, and I am enjoying doing this sort of stuff. I'm not enjoying this. This is terrible. But the tuning and stuff is awesome fun. Really, really, really good fun. Rightio. Get in. Now, as long as I've got this right, this is going to work brilliantly. Let's refer back to the manual. And it's actually saying it's that way around now. So, why not put that other H piece? Yeah. So, is that right? There's another piece that goes up in there. Goes there. So that must go up in here. Build a mining rig, they said. It should only take 20 minutes. Why does it cost so much? Good questions. All very valid questions. Okay, back to worky for me later all. Thanks, Average Joe, for tuning in. Remote desktop is great for inter-network use. Yes, TV is great for over the internet. Team viewer, people have been getting frustrated with the minor posts for some reason. I don't understand why. They're allowed to get annoyed. That's the beauty part about the world we live in. I don't mind so much. I like the fact that people actually come out and tell you when they don't like things rather than just sort of walk away. At least then you can sort of modify your behaviour. And I guess that's always a good thing. Getting better. Better's good. TeamViewer is also a great cross-platform. Yes, yes, you can do iPhones and all that sort of stuff as well. I use it. I log in all the time from my phone to customers' computers and stuff like that, because a lot of the times the jobs aren't worth getting in the car and driving out there for. So like, my internet won't work, or this won't work, or that doesn't work. Or does TeamViewer work? Yeah, TeamViewer works, or in that case, it's not your internet. So, and I guess that happens as well. Actually, might be the other end. I've never really got into VPNs and stuff. I don't know what the VPN. What's the big VPN? VNC or something. Never even got into that. Never set it up once. Always been Windows. I try and stick to stuff that comes default with other stuff, if that makes any sense. Seems to work better. Rightio. Well, it's easier for the client. It might not actually work better per se. Where does this one go? Oh, it goes up on the side. Move them up a little bit. Won't balance. I need a second pair of hands. Oh, this was an unexpected turn of events. It would help if I used the right Allen key. Rightio. That wasn't so hard. Come on, do this one first time and I'll be happy. Rightio. That is starting to look more like a rig. Why isn't it? Oh, there we go. I don't know if I should nip these up yet or later or whatever, but I'll do them now, I guess. No. One popped out. I guess if you don't tighten them up tight enough from the get-go. Rightio. Oh, that's disappointing. It's not level. Oh, I'll work on that later. Rightio. Now this one goes on the high side somehow. How does this work? Ah, I sort of have to go with these ones as well. There's no holes. Okay, so I've only got 2 left of these. Ah, so this one would go across here, because that's where the cards sit. Ah, look at that. I got one wrong. This one's got to go around the other way. There's my first redo. I was using it on my Android phone. My Android had I had to leave my computer on at home connected so I could play Settlers Online as its flash play. Oh God. Oh no. If you find an online MP3 sound, you can replace the URL and change the sound of the beep. I don't know what that's referring to. How many people are bored by this live feed already? Can we have a show of hands? How many people are in this live feed? I'm not even going to bother looking. I'll probably get depressed. It's probably 5. As long as I get it done, I'm happy. Oh, I missed the hole. Shouldn't be doing that too often in public. Rightio. That goes in there like that. Now all I've got to make sure is I've put the motherboard mounts around the right way. That is something I'm not sure I've done correctly. I'm bored of you saying it's boring. Well, that's a boring bloody comment. I'm bored because I can't look at the screen and interact. It's a Tampa Monkey script that makes messages and you pop up in a separate window. If you don't miss the messages at you. Okay. What are your thoughts on the prices of Ethereum dropping? I don't know. I haven't really looked. I am trying to treat it as it is what it is. The price will be what the price will be. And once I start selling, I guess it'll be different. But I have little to no plan at all to sell at the moment. Unless, of course, something cool comes along and I need it. Or want it, like a shipping container. I don't know, if I could mine enough for a shipping container, that'd be nice. But I doubt that that's ever going to happen anytime soon. Now, I know these have all got to be set right for the height of the video card, so I'm probably going to have to move all this stuff around. So that faces inwards. So that must just go a screw from underneath, maybe. That seems perfectly logical. Here we go. Get in. Put underneath there. Screw on there. I actually need somebody to actually control all the cameras so we can see exactly what I'm doing and where I'm doing it from. I need like a crew. I bet you if I put my address out there online, I'd have a crew here in 3 minutes. Well, it might not be a crew, but Rightio. That one goes there. I still may have to change around that bottom one yet. Maybe I should have put this on first. Alright, what's going on? Oh yeah. Rightio, that's built enough for now. Right, let's start throwing some parts at it and see if I got it all right. Now, it hasn't dropped off a CPU in memory yet. So I'll have to steal my CPU in memory. At least I can get it up and running that way. I'll leave that in there until I do the motherboard. Now typically I don't put a motherboard into a rig unless I did it wrong. I did it wrong. You'd almost have to expect that. Holes lining up. Oh yeah, it's wrong. Bugger. Maybe only one wrong. Well, that's not so bad. Only one's wrong. Okay. So, one there. Take some photos of this later. One there. Just have to take this bar off and spin it at 180. Actually, no, it was right. And then I put it on back to front. I put the whole H back on back to front. So that is absolutely my fault. I think that's the last opportunity I have for that. Rightio. Spin that around. Right, throw it back in again. Come on. I did not consider that this needed to all be nice and level. I guess it can all be changed. There we go. Those two are done. That one and that one is all lined up. Okay. So the theory says 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Holding that gently. 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Motherboard. And to all the new timers that are watching this down the track, I've never done this before, so you're not allowed to pick apart my technique. Built a computer before, but never onto one of these rigs, so it's a bit asked about. Probably have to do some stuff twice. I reckon that'd be a fair call. And it's hot. It is stinking hot. Rightio. Awesome. That all lines up. And we get all these little screws. Put one in the middle. Then I put one in the top corners to line it all up with each other. And this is where I see if the rig's out of square. It's not horrible. There we go. Motherboard is in. Now I can't even remember the settings on this motherboard to get all the cards to work, so I'm going to have to wing that as well in the BIOS. And unfortunately I don't have a capture card. I have ordered a capture card so I can actually live feed this sort of stuff, but it has not arrived, unfortunately. Look at that rookie mistake. Nipped everything up a little bit too much, getting cocky. And the lineup is just not spot on. It's close, but not quite. There we go. And I do like putting, there's some technicians out there just put half the screws in. I hate that. I always put all the screws in there. Button it all up. Less rattles, less moving around. What do we got? At BatteryHasher, it's a Tamp Monkey strip that makes messages when you pop up. Okay. Yeah, I've got one of those scripts. I haven't put it on yet. What's your thought on price of Ethereum? That's what the wife said. Woohoo, woohoo, ambulance. Ambulance, 5 different apartment. Sound I play 5 like that. There we go. You're allowed to have this little side conversation. Got something wrong on your live feed? No, I always get shit wrong on my live feed. And I don't have to think about being nice. I can swear because I'm not monetized. Well, not yet anyway. I hope I do get monetized. Okay, CPU. Now, I never usually put the CPU in whilst the motherboard is attached. However, in this particular case, I'm not too concerned as I can actually put my hand underneath and support it. I do not like bending the board anything more than necessary, and that also goes with the memory install as well. Okay, twist and pull. Rightio. Twist and pull. Twist and pull. Standard fan. Standard cheapo Celeron processor. Which actually really drives me nuts, the cheap processor, because if you load Windows on it, they don't run very well. Oh, don't you hate that? When the pins spread out on you. Or maybe I hadn't pulled it back into line. There we go. 2, 3, last one is always harder. 4, nice and firm, nothing moves. That'll probably get caught. Rightio. Screws along the top for cards. Or are we getting impatient to see the cards themselves? It's not that special, really. I tell you what, it's hot. It's hot. I'm dripping with sweat. All you guys over there in negative degrees. I wish I was there with you. Oh, that is kind of cool. Transition, so you don't have to look at me. That is still doing 29. Was it 29.85? It was there. I just dropped to 25.58. They never stay rock solid, but the more rock solid, the more static you can get that figure, the better. That's for sure. And it is possible that I actually put this in with all the other cards and that tune doesn't work anymore. Because I find as soon as you add more than a couple of cards, it drops by 1 hash per mega hash per second or something. So I guess that's to be expected. Rightio. 5.8. It hasn't gone back up again. Imagine if I was filming this for a video. It would take me, I wouldn't have even been putting the frame together yet, having to move the cameras around and stuff. So I think this format for building is going to work because it's a lot less effort. Rightio, I'll get all that out of the way. HyperX memory, Fury DDR4. Of course, I'm holding it up to a camera like you can see it. Transition, Fury 4. This is actually out of my desktop computer. I think it's 16 gig. I don't know, it's definitely overkill for this computer. I think it might be an 8 gig stick. Okay, support the underside of the board. Rightio. Power supply will have to be next. I know you all want to see the sexiness of the video card. Power supply will have to be next. Power switch I might just throw in there while there's no cables. Power switch Asus motherboard, so it'll be that one there. Now I didn't actually put much thought into which screen I was going to display this on when I set it all up so you can see it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The plastic just come back on the fan. Rightio. These are big power supplies. I've actually got one underneath the bench, a 1300 watt one, that doesn't play the game properly. It won't turn on. I can turn it on with shorting out the pins, but it won't turn on with a computer clicking the button. So I'm not altogether sure why that is. We need that. We need them. Zip ties. I might button this one up just for fun. Plenty of cables. We don't need the bag. That can go in the bin. We don't need that. It'll go in the bin. Rightio. Instructions. That's a heck of a lot of instructions, but we don't need them. Rightio. Power supply. Of course, now I've got to remember how the power supply is attached. Is it with that? I think it might be. Of course, I don't really know. It's kind of typical, isn't it? I don't know. It doesn't, nothing lines up. We'll work it out later. We'll just put it in there for now. That must be that plastic must go there somehow. Let's sort it out. But we'll just balance it there for now, just so we can get this rocking. I really actually want to put that on, but it must. I reckon it must just go through one of them with one of the longer bolts, maybe. Do they go into that hole? They do. Rightio. take that off, spin it round. One of the things I've got to stop doing is trying working across these rigs and start working on the side that I'm working on, because it seems to work a bit better. Right, that power is probably going to have to go up. That's going to drive me crazy. No, it goes that way. That goes there like that. Still doesn't fit. One. Maybe this way. Ah, look at that. That works. Oh yeah. One. Two. Oh yeah. If you put it on the right way, it might help. Two. Rightio. Chat's coming back up again. I'm going to check up on yous. No, I'm sick of putting people putting my address up. I delete people that put my address up these days. I think it's quite rude, if I should be honest. Rightio. Come on. Come on, spin around. I think I'm winning. It's hard to tell sometimes, but I think I'm winning. There we go. I think it's all technique. And I actually think my technique is terrible because I used the wrong length of screws. Now they don't screw all the way in. So absolutely technique is everything. Rightio, we're going to do this right. We're going to do it right, or we're going to do it twice. Either way. That would be funny and annoying for a while. Once he got something wrong on a live feed, I'll send you my ETC address so you can use it to test the new miner. Okay, Mike, let's do that. Mike, if you were smart, you could work out and go onto a certain forum that we both own. Well, I own and you look after, and edit a certain text file that I will use, and it will be your configuration file. You could do that, I guess, since you're the only person with access to it. Rightio. Well, that's not much fun. I have to move that down a little bit. There we go. That still doesn't look right, eh? Some thumb screws. Everything else is Allen key, and then this is hex. But I guess it's thumb screws, so that's alright. Rightio, power supply is fitted. Well, it's not going to inconveniently fall out, put it that way. Rightio, Dun dun dun! It's card time, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that sounded incredibly corny, and I'll try not to ever do it twice. Actually, it's not card time yet. I will put the power cable in for the motherboard. Now, I don't know what risers I was given. We might try and do the risers a little bit better if I can, if I've got the right parts here to do it. Because I've got to work within what I was given. Turn that around again. Player Parts ethos is he's going to try and do it better and not burn shit up like he did yesterday. And I don't know if I showed any of you here, but I burnt shit up yesterday big time. I've got 7 580s, 6 1080s, 3 560s and 2 1060s. Somebody wants me to drive to the north coast to tune their rigs. Should I drive to the north coast to tune somebody's rig? That's a very long drive. That's a very, very long drive. If I didn't have to do the BIOS mod, which I think I have to do, I would probably go up. I probably would. I'm not sure. It's a big. It's a long way. Rightio. We don't use that one. That one can be for the PCI ports on the motherboard. Come on. I am starting to see I have done something wrong. Oh no, it fits. There we go. Not my preferred method of fitting, but it fits. I might annoy people and start zip tying stuff up. A lot of the people that build these rigs, the only thing they care about is them running, and that's it. But the computer tech in me says, come on, let's just do a little bit better. It doesn't have to be heaps better, just a little bit. Rightio. Powered by Corsair, that probably never go onto it. Rightio. So power's on there. Now we only need one card running for the first initial setup, I guess. We need some cards. And that one is still hashing at 29.84. Slice all of these open. And I have missed out on lunch yet again. One. This format is far too long for YouTube, especially when I'm not paying attention. I think I'm going to run out of room, so I might actually start throwing these up. I'm not going to screw them down too well because I've still got to BIOS mod them. But what I'll try and do, look at that. Oh no, that's not so bad. Just move that down a little bit. I did know I'd have to do this. Rightio. Carefully move all that back over there a little bit to give us some more room. Now, if it was possible at all, I've been working in a very small area, right? And I've lost, oh there it is right there, rightio. To say I've lost an Allen key already. Okay. Slide that one down a little bit. Ah, that's what I was worried about. These things are horrible. Now I have tried realigning this once before myself, and it wasn't much fun. This is where it really helps if you've got another hand. Put one end in. There's got to be a trick to this, but I don't know it yet, so we'll just have to roll with it and see what happens. Oh no. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I put it round the wrong way. Genius. And that side just come out. Thank you very much. I am going to have a nap in between building this rig and finishing it. Oh, don't come out again. Come on. It did come out again. Fair enough. I'll play your game if you want to play mine later and just hash flawlessly from the second I plug you in. Oh dear. Do one end first. Set that up. You don't want to tighten it too far because I don't want to bend the... It's got to look sexy, right? So nice and level. I think that makes a difference between a well-built rig or not. Is these little bits and pieces. Now I have to pull all the plastic off on this and stuff on these. I'm just doing this step. Maybe I could have just done this. Rise that up a bit. Oh, yeah. That is probably not perfect, but it is pretty close. Ooh, that's as good as it gets. Rightio, that's a wrap on that. Rightio, we start taking this plastic off so I don't forget. Now, I don't need to button this up too much because I don't know whether I'm going to do all the BIOS modding on camera or just put one card in it and show you it all running and then call it a day. Before this live feed ends, I dare say the guy that'll be here to pick this up will be here. So these rigs get built and get put out the door on the same day. And I won't be doing any high-end rig builds on camera. Just the cheap ones. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's starting to look good. These must vibrate down because I didn't put them down enough to block it. Now I just need... I may as well just keep putting these in, even though I've got to turn it on first and do the BIOS of the actual motherboard itself. There's lots of different ways of doing it, and I am not going to say the way I do it is the right way to do it, because I'm not altogether sure. I've only done this part twice, and it took me an awfully long time to rattle around and get it finished. So, third card. Let's have a gander over here so we can still see that that's a stable overclock. And that is the wrong one. Transition. Transition. So we still have 29.84 on a single card. So that is a win. They say it's got to be absolutely perfectly stable with no dropouts and no memory errors and stuff for 24 hours. So that will have to be something we do later. But I have the configuration file set up, so I can simply remote in and they restart the rig and it resends all new configuration to it. So I do have that set up. We haven't even got the fan side, the sexy side of the actual rig happening. We got SJ cam, go that one. Transition. I was planning on keeping all of these cards, boxes, and making an epic thing in the background, but every customer walks in and asks what we're doing when I got rigs on the rigs building during the day, and I just don't want to have the conversation with them. It takes too much time, so I just tell them they're maths machines. They're for mathematical calculations, which I think is fair enough. Rightio. I probably should have put the risers on all of these first, I think. Motherboard, don't need anything in the motherboard box. Okay. Rightio, last card. Well, last card. I guess you'd say it's the last card. All the wrappers off. I've had one rig in here with all of this plastic still on it. And it's like, dude, take the plastic off. Oh, but it makes it look, it keeps it newer. I said, dude, everything is about heat dissipation. If you add one more layer, it might only add 0.01 of a degree, but that might be the difference between running stably and not. And he since took it all off, which I was a little bit happy with. A little bit happier with. Rightio, so they're all buttoned up there. Right, let's get some power cables. Actually, we should see what risers I have, because I haven't checked what type of risers they are. So we have a mouse that I now can't reach. Main transition, and I'm going to open the chat up again so I can see it. There's not too much chatty, which I expected, to be honest. At my previous job, I set all of my mail sounds to the AOL ones. I worked a headset and muted most of the time, so it was training. Anyway, open up all these. Okay, so they are cool. So they are the populated boards. They're populated boards with LED. So it's got a little LED down the bottom there, so you can actually see whether they're on or not. So I believe they are considered to be the better ones. Just so you can tell whether or not you've got a problem, I guess. Get all that out of here, put it on the floor. You should see the pile of rubbish piling up behind me. Once I get this down, I should be able to get this down in under an hour. That's the plan. Completely build, turn on, configured, 1 hour, done. I think that's fair. I really do. So it's a matter of just working out the process and which steps to do first, which is something I would be very keen on doing. So, working out a job sheet for it, so you know which step goes where. I guess you could Do the old Henry Ford style and save a lot of time and money by doing it in the correct order. All screws all the time is best practice. Absolutely. I'm not modifying the scripts to do wonders. What else we got? I think I would pull out my own alien head. Right, use the included ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rightio, that's enough. 6 of them. 6 of them. I thought my last one correctly. So frame manual doesn't explain which piece goes where. It does, except I took all the identifying markers off, didn't I? So I pulled all the identifying markers off, and that may have helped me build it a bit faster. But look, I don't think it took that long anyway. So I think that's a win for sure. It keeps coming back as 42, so you're building the most advanced computer now. So is that Asus box on the back bench and empty? I no longer recall if it was it's a 6 GPU build. The other one is in here. It's in there, and look at that for dodgy. That's how that's how I can run 2 cards in there and still keep them cool. So that's the sixth card is there, so I can that's what I've been showing you on the other screen. So it's hashing away, testing my overclock abilities that I have learnt in the last 2 weeks. Rightio. Power cables. 1. Now, they are those ones, so I might try and run, if I can, because a lot of people have complained about me running the Molex connectors, the SATA Molex, for the risers. So we might try. Now the problem is you just don't get enough cables in order to do it in a specific way sometimes. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's only... there isn't enough. How many plugs do we have available in this? So 3. Okay, so I can't do it that way anyway. There's not enough plugs. High amp plugs or whatever you call them. That's for the motherboard. So 1, 2, 3. That's power for the video cards. 2 or 3. So I'm just going to have to go the other way in the adapters, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but people don't think it's the right way of doing it. So I've been instructed to only put 2 per cable, so we're not loading them up, and never use the end one apparently. So 1, 2, so that's all we do, put 2 on there, and don't use the end one, and that's all. That one, no, that one, and that one. Don't use the end one. Well, that one's a different one. I have to use the end one. Let's make it look neat and tidy. I don't think that's going to actually happen. Rightio, that one. That one has got 4. Oh, come on. It's like putting a USB cable in the right way. 1, 2. Rightio. Put that one into there. Now in hindsight, I think I'd definitely do that out of the rig rather than in the rig next time. So let's pull all these covers off. Rightio. Good one. Goes there, and of course I don't have that one plugged in at the moment. There. Oops. Got around the wrong way. Right. Get them up. Actually, you know what? I'm only going to put one on. I'll only put two on, and that way we can test it. So let's turn that around again. This is not ideal. If I drop this on camera, it will be awfully bad. If I dropped it any time, it'd be bad, I guess, but it'd be 10 times more embarrassing if it was on camera. Rightio, now this is where my thought process did not extend to. So that one is still running. Transition. It's still running, what is it, 29.84 hashes. So I'm happy with that. So I'll shut that computer down now. There we go. Kick this off. Team viewer is gone. Now, in order to actually do this, I had to, we go back on that screen, flash another. So you have to get Etcher and you have to download EthOS. You put the USB stick into the computer, you select your drive and hit flash. So it is very, very simple to actually create the USB. And the USB, and if I actually went to the right screen, transition, it's just a 16 gig card. So that is going to be the operating system on this rig. I just noticed what I did wrong on this build. I put those rectangular brackets on the top rather than at the bottom. That's going to be a fun thing to fix later on down the track. Rightio. So this card has been BIOS modded. So we'll take it out of this computer and we'll throw it up into here. And we'll just fire this one up with a stock USB stick before we modify it. And I'm not sure how I'm going to actually show you the screen to actually do this. Get rid of my test rig, I guess you'd call it. Is it a test rig? I think it is a test rig. Drilling large holes in the back of something sort of delegates it to being a test. Rightio. Keyboard and mouse. Rightio. So we got nothing hooked up at the moment, so we're just going to do the motherboard side of things. Oh wow! See, that's more thought that I didn't put into moving this around with so many cables sort of hanging. So let's put that over there, and the card slipped out, which is fantastic, but did not fall, which is a good thing. Rightio, you can almost see that, can't you? Got a decent camera, which is good. There we go, tighten that down a little bit, just so that one doesn't fall out. Rightio. Let's see. Alright, you can sort of see that screen there. Rightio, we need Ethernet, we need power. Might run the power in the other way so it's a little bit neater. There we Ethernet plugs into there. Now I'm not watching this chat at the moment, so I'll just move it off a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Now you can leave it in the motherboard for the video that they do suggest you don't. Rightio. So that is plugged in. That is plugged in. That is plugged in. That is nice and firm. We have got no video cards plugged in at this moment. And this is basically my in my own head checklist type of idea. Rightio. Turn it on. We have some lights, if you can see it down there. Turn it on. There we go. Do we get a screen? Ah, we do have a screen. Well, that's always a good start. F1. Right, one of the first things you've got to do with these motherboards, almost always, is to update the BIOS. So F7 goes into cancel. F7 goes in the BIOS. F7 goes in the BIOS, and I keep clicking the wrong one. Cancel. F7 goes into advanced tools. Easy flash utility via Ethernet or internet. Yes. And sometimes without this, you don't have the settings you need to change in order to run it as like a gaming board type thing. Yes. And that typically reboots the computer. And then goes back into the BIOS again and does the updatey thing. In the meantime, I'm going to open back up the chat. I am going to try, while it's doing this, I'm going to actively try to look at the chat. I found my last one aching correctly. Manual doesn't explain which place goes where. Change charge door to door. Tell them they're calculating the answer. So the Asus box in the back. Currently in tweaking slow ass video cards to squeeze as much as possible. Well, there's no comments there, so that was easy to catch up. So effectively, I have been talking to myself for quite some time. Next. Next. Rightio, latest file. Yes. Downloading, please wait. Downloaded successfully. Yes. Processing, there we go. I can't see which version. 809, we're going to 809. I don't know what the version before is, or 810. Okay, so it's only gone up one version. That's better than nothing. Rightio. What do we got next? Processing. And this makes for some boring TV, kids. I think 8 is where you have the problems and you've got to tweak the BIOS a lot more, but we've just got to change a few little things. And I don't know what they're called, but I know where they are. The speeds of the ports and stuff like that. We've got to change it from Gen 0 to Gen 1 or something. Rightio. Processing, it's about halfway through. Riveting stuff. We're just good listeners. Well, I do it for those that are hanging around. I just saw there's 12 people maybe here. There's probably 1 or 2 people here, and the rest are sort of just left it running in the background to help me out. It's the views. It's the views. I've got to get over 10,000, so I'm going to have to crank out some content on this channel so we get some views up. But I guess it's about creating some good content as well. And I wouldn't class this as good content at all. But it is a learning thing for me as well. Just us bots here. Rightio, rebooting. So now the BIOS update has been done. She'll kick back in again. Booting back up. Now I need to go back into the BIOS. Now I need to do F7. Escape. Advanced mode, rightio. Advanced. Now I'll just use a mouse. Chassis span. Is it that one? Boot monitor advanced. CPU configuration. Nope. System. What's that one? Disabled. 4G decoding. Primary adapter. I'll put it to auto. Now it's one of these that I've got to change. There we go. Gen 2. Gen 2. So that is the PEG port configuration and the DMI port configuration. Exit. Cancel. Save and reset. Okay. Rightio. So that's the BIOS done. Now I'll put those two cards on, and I'll hook up TeamViewer again so you can actually see the difference between a modded card and an unmodded card, and then modded timings and then unmodded timings. So we'll do that next. So that turned back on again, which I didn't really want. That's alright, there's no hard drive in this, so it doesn't matter. I'll just turn it back off again. Right, yeah, we'll put these two N cards on. Twist the cable around a little bit so it looks better. Okay. I'm not going to clip them up because I want to do it again later. When you put all of these little risers on, I found you've got to check each one and make sure that then they're actually soldered on properly. I think Mike Nacko had some that weren't even soldered. So we put them in the correct way around. Now I believe number 2 is actually number 1. So the first 16 by port should be number 1 card. And then that one should be the fastest card. We'll put that one in there. Rightio. I really like to buy all the right length cables for this, but I guess it's about running it. It's not about making it look beautiful. Okay, I'll put the second card in. So the second card is not BIOS modded and is dead stock. Right, so we've got 2 cards in. We got ETH OS in, so we should be able to turn that on. Turn it on there. That should come into life. Rightio. TeamViewer back on that one again. BatteryHasher, can you plug in the USB into the riser card after the system is powered booted, or do you have to connect it when the system is off? I would say best practice is to turn it to do it when it's off. That would be my suggestion. I'll bring that back on again. Transition. I might just be able to turn that camera just a little bit. One thing about this SJ cam I got for a review, it's a little bit slow when you're doing things. Okay, so this is standard settings. I am unsure if you can see it. Now to open up TeamViewer on this, all you got to do is type in TeamViewer, and it installs it for you. So once that's loaded up, I wonder if I do that and put that around there like that, will you be able to see that better? Of course, there is not much room, and this handle takes up quite a bit of space. Okay, so hardware possible. Oh, I haven't plugged the bloody power in. Oh, there you go. How's that for a professional? Let us transition. So I didn't plug the CPU power cable in. Genius, really, when you think about it. I definitely think after putting all this together, I've built this whole rig around the wrong way, and I'm going to have to pull it apart and do it again. Because I don't think these cables are going to politely fit. They will fit. I might have to take that card out. There is definitely going to be a problem with cable length with the way I've done this. It's alright, as long as I don't make the same mistakes twice, we are golden. Oh yeah. There we go, those two in there. Actually, I can move that a little bit to relax those cables. Actually, relax those cables quite a lot, actually. Of course, I can't see a thing in there, and I don't want to move the whole rig around. So let's use the good old iPhone torch. Probably the best thing ever invented on an iPhone. Except when your fingers are all hot and sweaty and it doesn't work. Alright, there we go. Just trying to bump it the second time. Yep, this is not working. There we go. That gave us a good inch of cable length, but I'm definitely going to still have to address that. That's not good enough. Rightio. Turn it back on again. So now we got power. Turn it on. I'll see if I can transfer over to this other screen for you. One. Big line up the center of it. And we've only got one card working. Fantastic. That is just what we want to see. And that is probably BIOS settings. Plugged in, plugged in, plugged in, plugged in. Firmly plugged in, firmly plugged in. Let's try again. Riveting stuff. Audio. Drat stupid lag. It isn't actually USB and needs to be off to load it properly. I probably would suggest that to be true. It's just using USB 3 cable for the ability for clean signal. Earlier versions used HDMI and it had more pins, so less fluxing.
and parts are easy to get. Try it using chat script and set it to color and flashlight sound. He really needs to get a proper flashlight. Hey, it's better than nothing. Reloaded the tab and come back to a blurry screen. Subscriber 201, welcome. And we've still only got one card, so I haven't done the BIOS right. Okay, for the 12 people that are in this room who votes, we do this off camera. And I actually upload a second video, or we keep persisting with it. Pete is already at 201. I was 13 a couple of days ago. No, I didn't brick it. There's no smoke, can't have bricked it. It's the BIOS. It's the BIOS settings that I don't understand. So it's just a matter of learning the BIOS settings and how they work and stuff like that. Do it on stream, keep going. All right then, I'll keep going. It does mean I'm going to sort of faff around a little bit. I still refuse to pretend that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put TeamViewer on here. So if I type in TeamViewer, where have we got? Radio. Transition. So I'm just typing in TeamViewer up here. So you click here, you type in TeamViewer, and you hit enter. And then it starts installing TeamViewer for me. And just for now, I'll just switch cameras, just for safety's sake. TeamViewer just installs. Now that's doing 22.94, and I'm assuming that is the modded card. Let's install TeamViewer so you can actually see it. It does take a few minutes to actually install, so it's not the end of the world. We'll go back over to that screen. Launching TeamViewer GUI. I don't actually know if installing TeamViewer on this actually slows the hash rate down. But that video card's only doing 23 mega hashes per second. And I had it doing 29, so that is all about what is on that USB stick. And I'll show you how to go through the USB stick in a second. I'll come back to the chat again because it's still loading. Keep going, keep going, keep going, okay, keep progressing, okay. We'll all learn from your mistakes, and I make plenty of mistakes. We learn as a group, and we laugh and mucking up together. This is when it'd be really cool if we could have like 3 or 4 or 5 people in the chat. Only one card looks to be running, might need to be checked the connections and reset again. No, it's not the connections. I dare say I didn't do something right in the BIOS. I have done this once before, and it did take me about 3 attempts. And that was 2 weeks ago, so I've done a lot of shit since then. Okay, that still says launching TeamViewer GUI. SJ Cam. No, that one. Transition. So, still saying the same thing. I don't know, I can't remember how long this takes. I can't imagine it will be a hugely long period of time. Oh, we're 14 people in the chat. This is getting exciting. Only one customer to be running it. Hasher, do you know anything about changing the overclock settings of the CPU to get better kryptonite hashing? No, I haven't done that, but I dare say you do that in the BIOS of the card, BIOS of your motherboard. Fans should be spinning, shouldn't they, regardless? No, I've only got one card hooked up, and they're thermally controlled in most cases. So they probably won't be spinning that hard. But the first card they're spinning. The second card is not, and the second card is plugged into the second PCI slot, so I dare say that is not working. So this card here is plugged in to the 1x slot. Okay, is that taking too long? I think that is taking far too long. I know I did it on my other one and it didn't take that long. Can you escape :X enter out of that? No. NVIDIA turns off. Oh no, oh no, that isn't. No, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Okay, I'm just going to restart this because it doesn't seem to be working. And at the same time, I'll go back into the BIOS and have a look around and see what I did. There must be something. There's something with the. You've got to set them all to. In EthOS, it shows you how to do it. There's a video online I did follow last time. I will just triple check that those two cards are plugged in well, and that is all in there. Plugged in, plugged in. We've got power. We've got power to both. That's interesting. Not all of them have the lights on them. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong end. Maybe the lights are on the other end. Okay, turn that back on again. I'll jump back into the BIOS. Oh, they've both got lights on them. So I think F1 was the command to get into the BIOS. Sorry, I meant to have you on that screen. And I missed the BIOS. Outstanding. Oh wow, I didn't know you could do that. There you go, learned something new. Yeah, still only one card. So actually I might turn that off again because we know that hash is at 22. Actually no, I'm not going to turn that off because I can just do this online because I've already got that set up. This is definitely not normal. It should be a little bit better than this. Oh, there we go. Now, if TeamViewer worked, we should get TeamViewer up on the screen. I might just change that just so I don't just blurt my TeamViewer stuff out. TeamViewer. I might just do it again and see what it does. Ah, there we go. Accept license agreement, which is what I didn't do before. Okay, close that out. Now I should be able to, that is on the interwebs, so I should be able to type those settings into my computer, make this a heck of a lot better for you to see. Enter. Aha. That'll be better. Rightio. Get that over onto that screen. Transition. There we go. Get rid of all that. Right, now once this starts hashing, it's going to hash on ETHminer's address, right? So, oh no, I've forgotten how to get out of this. VI, insert, VI, how do you type? So maybe I've got to do it on this one. VI space remote dot config, CONF, enter. No, escape :X enter. No, how do you? Does anybody know how to exit out of this screen? Because the only way I know how to do this is by actually restarting the ethos. How would be funny if the power button on the second button. That's more than just this remote. Control C. No, Control C killed the remote desktop connection. Oh, Control C actually. Okay. VI local. Okay, cool. Okay, so Control C. Okay, so that doesn't work. So transition. No, that doesn't work. Transition that again. Go to main. Go to that. Okay, so all of that has stopped working again. Okay, so created new random passwords on both. I'm just going to restart ethos. I'm going to restart that so I can TeamViewer back into it again. And I'm not overly sure whether it's bad or not just to hit the reset button on TeamViewer on the Linux. I mean, I know it's bad on a Windows machine, but I don't know about on a Linux machine. I will try getting into the BIOS again. F2. No, I think I missed it. Okay, boot it up. I did miss it yet again, but that's fine. Yeah, it's still only one card. Fantastic. Okay. Come on, boot up. I've missed lunch again. It will continue. It's installed. It's working. It doesn't matter. We're back into it again. Okay. Still only got one card, which is fine. Okay. So TeamViewer. Okay. So we just transition out of that, so I can go that one. Just before any smarty pants grabs in there and logs in before I do. Refresh the password. Rightio. So now that's useless information. Connect to partner. And it is okay. Wow. Okay. Move that out of the way. Close that. Move that out of the way. Go back to the main screen. Transition. Right. Get in. Now you can all see it. Of course, I can't see the chat anymore. Right, there's the chat. Back again. Control Z to break the bash. Okay. So back to the okay dash. I'm gathering that's dash. Of a second PSU. No, I thought it was a single 12. Yeah, it is single. The install will continue as working. Control Z puts things to the background. Okay. But you'll be able to see the shells. I assume it had a second. It's bad on Linux too, but we'll recover after the disk check. It doesn't do disk check because it's not. It doesn't have
conventional hard drive. It's just USB, so maybe it doesn't do disk check. Okay, so I want to change its hashing to somebody else's address now. So we do, where's, oh God, I've got too many mouse and keyboard. Okay, so vi.remote.config, enter. And this little thing here we want to get rid of because it's mining for them. And if we change that to Pete's one that he's done, and you've got to go numlock and then insert, space, delete, hash, okay, www.DIYPowerWall, I can't even see it, powerwall.com/kebab.txt, enter. Right, exit, escape, :X, enter, and then reboot the rig. And that's going to suck all the settings down off the server. So we're going to go from 23.19 to 29. Well, that's the plan at any rate. So go back on to transition. Now no, that password's going to change, so that's going to drop out again. Team viewer, so I'll just close that out. Okay. Once that reboots back up again, I can connect to the partner. We've still got to deal with only one card. That might be a little bit frustrating, but it'll be good to get it all going once it's done, I guess. Actually, while it's doing that, I can start plugging in some cables to this sort of stuff to make it a little bit quicker. It's not going to make it very much quicker, but still. Rightio. I think you can just see on the camera there at EthOS is logged back in again. Okay, so we should be able to go connect to partner. Of course it hides it. Connect to partner. Oh, none lock, of course. Right, we're back in again. Now, unless Mike was a smart ass and went and changed those settings, which I guess he could have, because he's the only one with access to it, we should be able to do vi.local.conf, enter. Aha! And Mike didn't change it. So that automatically changed all those settings, and because I uncommented this out on the server, it pulls all the settings across, and now this up here, the hash, should go to 29. So we got minor command at the start. So we had 23 as standard, and this video card, the one video card, is BIOS modded. So it is going to be better, I hope, as long as the video card actually works. Okay, so if that's not hashing, it means I've put the wrong code in there. Come on, that should be really working by now. SJCam. I don't know which one's the better view. Whether that one. I'll transition that one for now. Just sort of waiting for it to hash. Okay, so that has definitely got the wrong settings in it.
the internet's working because I can log in. And if it doesn't start hashing, it means that the address is wrong. Mike, did you get in there and change the address? AB98 is my address. Okay, so how do I do this off camera? So that is my configuration file. I want wallet addresses, coin wallets. File. Save. It's either that or that whole thing doesn't work. I am going to assume that that whole thing doesn't work. And rather than mess around and waste any of your time, I'll use one I created earlier. Shut it down properly this time. Rightio. Unplug. Alright, plug this one in. And this is technically the first rig that I've built by myself from scratch. I've always had someone else here helping do all the other rig builds. Okay, so I can get rid of that because I'm fairly sure that that's faulty. EthOS is now loading up. Now this has got all my configuration files from my other one, so it should all just work instantly. Main screen. Actually that is... Okay, so that has died. That one, transition, so that's just booting up. If you get any part of that configuration file wrong, it doesn't work. I know that, but I would really wanted to get lazy and not have to type everything in. Rightio, so this should just all kick in. Minor commanded to start. Okay, that's not going to matter because that's going to change in a second anyway. I type modems in 100+ times a day. I can't really see the chat very well, but these cards were not purchased by me, they were purchased by the client. So that is what they wanted. That is what they got. So can you see that hashing there? I don't know if you can or not. If it's good enough quality, you might be able to. I'll just read it out for now, it might be easier. I've got to go back now, and once this starts hashing at 29, I'll know that that works. And then I can go back around. Although it'll only hash at 29 if I've got the right card plugged in and the right card is picking up. 22.67. 23.34. It's going up slowly. 23, come on, 23.34. 24.60. 28.98. 29.86, 85. Get in. This has to be a big sun flare on there. So I've got 29.85.
So that is hashing right. So now we just stop the rig again. Let's just check whether that's mining to my address. Enter. Yes, it is mining to my address. So those settings there are what I'm using. Of course, the BIOS also counts. So we've got global fan 85. We've got global core as 1235. We've got the global memory as 2110. Power tune 3, and we're mining with Claymore and via ETH distro. So there are the settings I am using to get 29.84. Rightio, let's shut this rig down again. And we can try and work out what I have done with the BIOS so it doesn't all work. I might actually go ahead and plug all the other cards in. Actually, they've got no power running to these cards, so I can plug these in without a problem. Pretty things. So yeah, the last card is over here. I'll BIOS mod all these cards off camera. I'm not doing them on camera. That's going to take a little bit of extra time. Primarily, I just want to get them all up and hashing for now, so we can test it. There we go. Rightio. Power is off. Plug all these in the right way. Drop one on the floor. That has been officially drop tested. Of course, these thongs are officially anti-static devices. Actually, my whole shed has been built around anti-static, so nothing can... The only thing that, you know, may cause electricity, static electricity, is the wheels on that chair. So 3, plug that in. And like I've said many times before in this live feed, I'm going to have to go through and pull all this apart and do it again, because it's not very neat. So I will definitely do that in time. I've just got to get a nice stable overclock happening first, because it is different once you unplug everything. Oh yeah. There we go. Comes up through there. I put LED lights into this shed and they're still not bright enough. I need to double down on the lights, I think. Of course, that's really going to chew some more power up. Even the LED light bulbs are only like 6 or 10 watts difference between the fluoros and the LEDs, and they cost me $100 for 10 of them, even though I only have 8 of them up at the moment. I tell you what, there's got to be some sort of trick to putting these cables in the first time. Okay, that one can come around this way, go up through the middle there. You watch some people on camera and these cables go in neat and perfect every time. It must be technique. Holding their tongue right or something. Rightio.
They're in, so just need the power for the risers. Where's my old seat? Old man gets to sit down. Now I'm going to argue I should have done this the other way around and plugged these in first, not later. But I'm going to have to deal with what I've done. I will get better at this, I promise. Or I'll just stop doing it live on camera. Stopping doing it live on camera would probably make me a lot better. I'm actually nervous. I'm second guessing everything I'm doing. Even though this is no different to building a bloody computer. Right. There is no way that this is going to work, but we're going to plug it all in and we'll turn it on anyway. Just have a look. There we go. Last one. Make double sure they're all plugged in correctly. Rightio. Now this is never going to work, so F2. Turn it on. No, turn that on. Turn that on. Now F2 should get me into the BIOS. The more cards that are in, the longer it takes to post. What did I do then? Maybe I wasn't hitting F2. I think F2 is the BIOS command. No keyboard detected. Why isn't there a bloody keyboard detected? Of course there's a keyboard detected. It's a USB keyboard. You little shit. That little blinking light on the top right isn't look at the light, not the lumens. They're above my head. Isn't that enough? I'm not really reading a lot of the other messages, unfortunately. PS2, I can't. It's covered up by the rig. That's the way they mount. Okay, so that means I haven't got that done right. So I'm gonna have to take all of those out again and take that one out. And then turn that back on and turn that on. Rightio. It might not want to boot because I had all of them plugged in and the BIOS wasn't set up right. It does seem fair. There we go. Did I get it in time? I did. Okay, F7. Alright, advanced. Native power. No. There you go. Level 1. Why did I think that was all set to level 1? Where is it? Advanced. Frequency, auto, DRAM, timing. Why are we going to advance for? No, I'm going to have to use the mouse. Back. Some people are spitting out commands at me, I think. Not Mobo, make it work. Then make it pretty. Yeah, that's right. Not Lumens, calm down. You're letting us to the shop by having a laugh. F8. Replay the video. If you put the light right over. Oh, he's saying you have a big head. Wow, that was bad. Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so PCH. Gen 2. Okay. Maybe I didn't do that properly last time. SATA controllers, SATA, aggressive, smart, hot plug SATA. Oh, that's SATA. I don't want SATA. Onboard device configuration. Audio disabled. Breathe mode, M.2. No, actually, I don't even need that because I'm not doing M.2. LAN controller enabled. EP. Restore on power loss, power on. I am literally just guessing. I roughly know the configuration, but that's about it. Tool, boot, fast. Option 1, scan disk. Tools, exit, save changes and reset. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. If this doesn't work, I'll bugger off and do it off camera, and I'll just record the rest and work out how, because I'm going to have to Google it and how to do it. Yeah, lots of keys work. It just depends on what motherboard it is. Oh yeah, still only found one. Okay, so that's irrelevant. Let's turn that off. Okay. We'll just plug them all in. Hopefully they're going to work. 3. Sorry, I'm not taking enough care to worry about which camera angle I'm still at. Okay, 4. 5. 6. Yeah. So we've got all that plugged in right. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plugged in there. Got the power plugged in there, just checking everything. Turn that back on again. And let us see what we have. Transition. Come on, you got to start up for me. There we go. The little blinky lights finished blinking. There we go. Why no keyboard detected? There's a bloody keyboard there. The numlock key is not working. So I still haven't got the right settings. Now I feel amateur. I wonder if I can save those settings and just import them every time. That would be a lot easier. Yeah, that little blinky light of death is not working for me right now. So I still have a configuration setting. Okay, I'll give it a little bit more time, maybe it'll boot. I do believe I'm grasping at straws, it's not going to boot. Is the video substantially worse because I've got the camera turned around, which means the microphone is turned around? Okay, so that's still not working. Transition. Turn him off. Okay, so it's not even going to the BIOS now, which is fine by me, I guess. I'll just try 3 and see what it does. Spin that around a little bit, you might be able to see it a little bit. At least you'll be able to see if it turns on. You won't be able to see the white cursor. Gamers. Oh, there we go. EthOS booted that time. So I wouldn't boot with 6 cards, that's weird. Hey, we got 2 cards showing up. That's a little bit special. So what 2 cards are coming up? I don't know. 1 and 5. I really wish that they would, I've got 3 cards plugged in and only 2 are showing up. So I might just shut that. I can see your comment there, try 1, 2 and 3, but there really shouldn't be any need. Every other time I've done this step, it's just been plug them all in and they go. So I wonder if it's that card there. I bet you I haven't done the speed of the, changed it from 16 by to 1 by on the PCIe slots. Okay, so now I've got 4 cards plugged into the 1 by slots. We'll see if this kicks on. And which means I just got the speed wrong on the 4 by on the 16 by slots. Okay, well it's booting. EthOS. Which camera? That one, transition. And still only 2 cards. Okay. Oh, that's alright. Okay, we'll play their game. I am willing to play the game. Let's unplug. Unplug and unplug. We'll leave 1 in there. Turn it on. Delete. Get into the BIOS. And have another look around. Are you choosing not to boot? Seems to be after I change those settings it takes longer to actually post. Press delete to get into the BIOS. Alright, there we go. Let's see if I can give you... Of course, giving you a better field of view gives me a worse field of view. There we go. Oh, the audio is about the same either way. Okay, cool. Rightio. So F7, you got to go into there. AI tweaker. Core. I'm just going to go through every single menu and see if I can work out. No, it's not CPU configuration. PCH. Motherboard. Okay. SATA, so I won't be in there. Onboard device configuration disabled, breathing mode, PCI maybe 2x mode. Now I've got to disable S4 somewhere, don't I? Now I'm remembering. I can't remember where I saw it, but I've got to disable S4. PCH configuration. That's all SATA. PCIe speed, Gen 2. I know that's definitely one I had to change. 4G decoding. Enable. I think that auto enabled. Okay. Exit, save and reset. I think that's going to do what I need it to do. So I'll wait until it comes on again and then turn it off, plug everything back in. I'm definitely going to get online and do a cheat sheet so I know what's so I don't have to do this twice. Don't have to make myself look like a twit twice. Rightio. I wonder if this video will get picked up by YouTube and it'll be what not to do when building a rig. I definitely got to do a video on all the mistakes I've made building this rig. That'd be an interesting video. Cables are in the wrong place, power supply's on the wrong side, mounts are on the top rather than on the bottom. Genius stuff, really. It's probably the lag at my end more than anything else. Main screen, SJ cam, transition, radio. I'll just leave it on there until that actually comes back on again. It's still flashing. I think I may actually, with the settings I just changed, I might actually have to plug the video card into the screen, like directly into one of the cards rather than on the onboard, which does happen sometimes. Alright, I am just going to assess that. Okay, so 2 is that one. No. Oh, there it goes. It turned on. But I think I just hit the power button, and I've only got 4 up this time. About 4 cards is better than 2 cards, right? But I turned it off, so there must be something I'm still doing wrong in that BIOS. It's coming back on, EthOS. It's quicker than it was last time. Wow, that's really bad focus. Logitech, focus. I actually think there was more cards that time. We got lights on everything. Light, 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 light. Oh, cards ramped up a little bit. And GPU failed. No, that is a massive error. That is not normal. I have never seen that before. So there must be still settings wrong. Well, that's just a little bit frustrating. Turn that off again. I'll take out three of them. Turn it back on again and see what happens. Again, if you've just joined us, I am hashing my way through setting up my first rig by myself without reading anything off the internet, which I probably should be doing right about now, if I should be honest. And if I was off camera, I certainly would be trying to work it out. Okay, so that's still 2 cards, even though I got 3 plugged in. So why is that only 2 cards out of 3? And which 2 cards is it? The 2 are in 1 by slots and 1's in the 16 by slot. Unless one of the risers is faulty. I haven't considered that as an option yet, if one of the risers is faulty. When client for when client resets his BIOS. Rightio. Did that fire up? Oh, you can't see. I haven't got that on the right camera. Of course, now my phone has no internet. Okay, so then it's not firing at all. I changed that number 1 slot to number 5 slot. Not to number 4 slot, and now it's not firing up at all. So even though that's... maybe that's card 2 that needs to have the monitor plugged into it. If this doesn't work this time, guys, I am going to go offline. I'm going to call this a 2.5 hour ridiculously long live feed that didn't achieve anything. And then I'm going to run away. I'm going to phone a friend. And hopefully he can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Just so I don't have to sit here and fuddle my way through it. It'd be awesome if I had the HDMI capture card. That would make this so much better. Nah, it's not firing up at all when I don't have anything in the first 1 by slot. Okay, kids, that is about my frustration levels. I need to go and do some research and work out what I'm doing wrong. I need to document that process. And then we might be able to... No, it's a brand new board. I don't think it's a board. I absolutely still think it is my fault with the BIOS. Rightio, let's
let's go back to one card. Let's plug that into there. So we've got one card plugged in, one card up there. I'll turn it back on again. I'll reset the BIOS and do it all again from scratch. Turn that back on. Rightio. Are all the PCI ports set to 1 by? I believe so. I've got power to everything. I'm not using M.2 slots. I'm only using the riser ports. So I didn't change that. Ah, okay, that just booted up into Ethos. Bugger. Okay, so one card. That works. Rightio, turn it off. I've only got one card plugged in. So let me know if you want to see the computer screen or this screen that you can see now. I feel quite bad when I haven't got both of them running. I should be able to put a screen in screen or something like that, but the 8 card rig, I still had someone behind me that did all the BIOSes because he was quicker. So even though I helped with the builds, but I didn't do the BIOS stuff, he did it all. I did one, but I had him over my shoulder, and that's not the best way to learn. Okay, I'm just going to go back to that one. I'm going to watch the chat. I'm going to go big screen on the chat so I can actually see it. Last build, add one card at a time. Yes, I know, but I shouldn't have to if I've got the settings right. Okay, PCI Express native power management. Maybe change that to enable. PCH, yeah, enable maybe. Auto? I don't even know what these things are. PCI Express, level 1. I might just... What do you reckon we just go reset? Load optimum defaults, okay. Right, let's go back to advanced. Right, PCI. That takes time. Before glass. Okay, so native power management. I'm sure I didn't do anything with that. I'm sure I didn't do anything with that. I'm sure I didn't do anything with that or that. It was PCH configuration, PCI speed. Was that Gen 1 or Gen 2? It might have been all Gen 1. PCH SATA controllers. So there should be nothing in there. PCH. Onboard devices. Disable audio. Disable. I don't have to do anything with the M.2 slots. 16 configuration. I think that's 2 by. I'm watching on my TV via Chromecast. You geek, you. Again, configuration. Power on. See, that's all I should need to do. There's nothing else I should need to do to get that to work. Voltages. That's tweak. I don't need to do anything with tweaking it.
Alright, let's just try that. Okay. "4G encoding." Yes, why does that ring a bell? Why does that ring a bell? 4G encoding absolutely rings a bell. Thank you. I've just got to find where 4G encoding is. Okay, get back into the BIOS again. So whatever it is standard, you've got to change it. So F7, that must be an advanced. Ride for Fitness. It's Josh from yesterday. Hey Josh. Is that card still rocking 29? 4G encoding. CPU. I'm just going to have a look at everything. Why did I remember seeing that the other day? Above, is it above 4G encoding enabled? Decoding, sorry. 47 degrees. If it's 70% fan, drop the fan back to 60%, man. 47 degrees is way cool, and you want to save that fan. Kiss Primple. It doesn't work. Tear it down to bare bones to determine which floor. Yeah, but I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this on here. I'm gonna 4G encoding does ring a bell, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, or decoding. Ride for Fitness. I got that card. I got one of those cards yesterday because I got another one yesterday afternoon. I got that cracking, and I didn't change the bloody BIOS. 29.95 or something. So don't you worry, I've had plenty of new parts be bad. Holy heck. I know that just as well as anybody. Rightio. I'm going the 1 by slot and the first 16 by slot from the CPU. So we'll try those settings and see what happens. Okay. So we've got 2 cards plugged in now. It just posted. I don't think you can. Oh, you can just see that on the screen. It'll probably be easier if I go over there. Ethos. Come on, bring in 2 cards. Still only 1 frigging card. Oh, dude. Okay, now I'm going to try that one in a different slot. That's something I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm trying 2 cards. 1 in the PCI 16 and then the next 1 by slot. So that's 2 cards in. So that first 1 by slot isn't working. Okay, that posts. One card. Okay, I'm just turning this off as fast as I can. This is my USB stick anyway, so it's going to kill my USB stick, not the customers. Okay, now I'm going to go just the 4 by slots. I'm going to put 4 in the 4x, and it's still got to be BIOS. It has to be BIOS. So there's none in 16x slots, only in 4x slots. And the monitor is plugged into GPU 1. Am I fairly sure that this shouldn't post when I haven't got it in that first 16x slot? I'll go back to onboard graphics. Okay, going back to onboard graphics again. ETHOS, come on, give me 4. Give me 4. 3. Only 3. Oh, dude, what's going on? Only 3, and there's 4 plugged in. So now I work out which one of those 3 is working, and or maybe I chuck the other 2 in as well and see if I still got 3. 2, 3, and 5. The worst part is I don't have 2, 3, and 5 plugged in. Alright, let's see what this hash is at just for fun. Need some more water. That is pointless because that's not working. If one card goes to 29, I know that's the one card that I've BIOS modded, and I know where that is located in the rig. And if it doesn't work, well, I'm in trouble. 377, so she's rocking in, she's starting to work. Okay, so we've got 1 fan, 2 fans, 3 fans. Okay, so I know from the fans running, card 1 is on, and 2 goes to that. Okay, so the second single by PCI Express port isn't working. So that doesn't make any sense. So maybe it's that riser card or something's faulty. I'll move it round. I've got a few spares, I might as well throw one in. Okay. I got 26, 26, and 25. Okay, that's very odd. So the last card is telling me that that is the modded one. Card number 5. I would have thought that would have counted the other way around, but obviously ETHOS doesn't work like that. Okay, so you can clearly see there, or you might not be able to clearly see. "26, 26, and 29. So one's BIOS modded, the other 2 are not BIOS modded. And if you can even see down there, which is going to absolutely pull that out of the wall. Yeah, you can't even see. And there's not enough
There's not enough cable length there. So down this end, it's saying this end is closest to the GPU, and that should be by rights number 1, but it's not. So that's working. We've got cards. So we've got the fans that are running on some of the cards and fans that aren't running. So I might say that is 3 hours. That's enough. I'm going to get out of here, make some phone calls, and I might even live feed the resolution to this later on during the day. Unplug 4. Well, 4's not there. I'll take that out. So that one's definitely not there. Okay, let's change the USB at the bottom. Change where that one's located. Okay, I turned it back on again. I figured I've come this far. No, still only 3 cards. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I know the cards that are working, so I'm going to take out all of those, and the card that is not working, I'm going to plug in to a known port that works, and then turn it on. Okay, so now this is the one card that was plugged in before that wasn't working, that wasn't showing on the screen, and I've put it in position 5. GPU, so it hasn't detected that one, so it must be the card, the riser. So let's change out the riser. That'll be fun. Okay. I am now changing out the riser for the card that's not working. USB cable and the plug that plugs the power in. So I'm replacing everything. SJ cam. There we go. So I took everything out of the old one and put another one in its place. And you all watched me take that out of brand new containers, didn't you? So they're brand new packets. Okay. So plug that into a power cable. Turn it on. Alright, let's see if that boots up. Oh, that took a long time. No card. Well, that
is going to prove to be a problem if that is that video card that's faulty. Alright, so that's that one over there. Keep it out of the way. Now I know these ones were working yesterday, so I'll just plug one of these in and try a third one. Now I definitely know these riser cards were working because we had them plugged in and ran hashing yesterday. Oh yeah. Plug that into a port. Turn it on. Turn it on. Rightio. So we've just got the second card here working. You would expect it to come on with some fans, maybe? Maybe it's got to post first. There we go, she just posted. ETHOS. No card. Wow. So that card must be faulty. Okay, I'm going to disappear now because I'm going to put each individual card into another test rig. I'm going to have to test it. It's a brand new card out of the box, so it goes back under warranty if it's faulty. Try adding 6 unplugged. Maybe the riser card is fault, but they are new. I know they're new, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's unplug. I like how persistent you guys are. I can't understand why you're still here, if I should be honest. What do we got? Audio. So that is unplugged in its entirety. Let's bring this rig over here. Carefully. Okay. You know what? There is no way it was that. There is just no way it's that cable. I'm going to reroute this cable a different way. I'm going to plug that sucker back in again. Right, I am absolutely allowed to swear if it was just that. Don't go back to that original riser. There are a couple of these plugs on the top that were pretty averagely plugged in. I mean, they were okay, but they weren't what I would call happy with the quality of the way I'd plugged them in. And the only reason I think it might be that is because 2 of them clicked when I plugged them back in again. So let's see how stupid I can actually be on camera and see if that was the only fault. The plugs themselves are horrendously tight. So, okay, I need... Where's the board there? Two... 3...
Yes, I am plugging them all in just for shits and giggles. Ah, dearie me. The title of this video will be the world's dumbest build. Rightio, that's all plugged back in. Ethernet, which is one big thing that I've done before, is not plug the Ethernet cable in properly. I'll tell you what, you feel like a proper dick when you do that. Rightio. USB, keyboard and mouse. I'm going to go back and watch this video later because I'm sure I walked along the top of that and pressed every one of those back in again. Rightio. We're turning on again, kids. First PC I built for a client had 256 CPU and a 5 meg hard drive. First computer was XD. I can't even remember what my first computer was. 4 meg of RAM. I have 2, 4, 5 cards. Get in, we've got 5 cards. 5 cards. 5 cards. That is close enough for me. They all had the lights on the top. 2, 4, 5 cards. Excellent. So one's loose or not plugged in properly. Let's transition. Five cards. 5 cards. So the BIOS was always right, and it was the way I put it together. Trying to be too bloody careful. I pushed the power cables in for the video cards and rerouted one of the cables. I'm just going to let that ramp up. See if I can work out which one isn't working. I'll have a look at the chat again while I'm waiting for that to turn on. How many things can go wrong without magic smoke escaping? Magic smoke doesn't come out very often. It does occasionally, but I try and stop that from happening at all costs. I don't usually have people watching when I work, and I think that's the problem. I'm second guessing myself and not being firm as I usually am. I'm usually very much, you know, when I push something into a slot, I make sure it's in there, but because I'm on camera, I've tried to maybe not so firm or something. It's interesting because all the lights were on the top and then all the lights were on the boards, but still there mustn't be enough power getting through. Awesome. So I don't know, can you see that? So we got 26, 26, 25, 29, 0.87 and 26. That's a win. Okay, we'll turn it off again, and we'll see if we can get that last card to show up. I'm just going through and reseating everything again.
I actually don't know which card wasn't working.
Actually, the card that is cold will be the one that wasn't working. That's odd. They're all hot. That one's really hot. Maybe that one. No, that one. Maybe I should use my thermal camera and see if I can work it out. Rightio. Turn them back on again. No, it wasn't 6, it was only 5. I've just gone through and plugged it all back in again, and we might have 6 this time. 246, get in! We have done it, ladies and gentlemen. And that concludes our live feed. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am going to go and have lunch. No. Oh, man. So what did we take away from that, kids? You plug your shit in and make sure it's plugged in properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get in. That is done. Wait, he has a FLIR camera. Yes, I do. Ah, now I'm happy. Wow, that is some big learning right there. That is some big learning. So now I've got to go through and flash all the BIOS, but I might make a quick video of that rather than rely on this. That is cranking. Awesome. How many people have actually hung around for this live feed? We got still at 10 people watching. That's pretty cool. I'm a little bit grateful for that, if I should be honest. How long have I been here, I guess, is the next question. What do we got? Oh man, I've missed so many messages. Refresh that one. Alright, let's see if they all hash. Don't even ask where number 5 is. I don't know why it does this. It just skips them, and it doesn't even put them in order. I put all of the cards in order from 1 to 5, or from 1 to 6, and they don't come up in order on the screen. So that must be just something with EthOS. That's 3 hours and 8 minutes for a live feed. That is a new record for Pete. Absolutely a new record for Pete. Whichever one goes 29 is in the wrong slot. I don't know why. Yeah, it's still numbered oddly. I can change all that around and it'll never be numbered right, which makes troubleshooting really, really hard. It's saying that it must be just when it picks it up, when the BIOS kicks in or something. So 29 is actually plugged into the 29.83, which is number 4, is actually plugged in to slot number 6. So figure that out, will you? Because I can't. Anyway, tubers, I have to say I am extremely grateful for everyone chilling out with me today and helping me through. I'm glad I didn't pull it all apart and thought it through logically and then did it 10 times before it worked. But it is working, and I am going to go and have some lunch because I'm starving hungry. I'm just going to let that sit there and hash for a little while, and then I might come back later. I might even do another live feed with it running with the BIOS mods happened, because anybody can Google how to do a BIOS mod. One could be onboard, that is possible, because I am using the onboard for the video. Should I just leave this running? No. No, I am going to go. I'm going to stop the live stream. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for chilling out. And I am going to see you later on this afternoon. This rig's got to be picked up very shortly anyway, so I might have to push it through. I don't know. Thank you. And I'll see you later.